What's up guys, Phoenix here. This video is going to be another DevPro Duel video in Ranked, and this time I'm going to be playing with an old favorite of mine, the Gusto deck, but specifically in this iteration this is going to be Speedroid Gustos, or at least, a Gusto deck with some Speedroid cards splashed into it, and this is a deck that was sent in by one of my subscribers by the name of Eric Godwin. It was sent in to my Facebook fan page, and he said, why don't you play this? Why don't you give it a shot? Why don't you critique it? And yeah, definitely. This is something that's right up my alley of something that I would definitely love to try out. And now that I have time to do so, I'm definitely going to be doing just that. Now, if you want your own personal deck sent in, make sure it's TCG legal. That's what I want to cover. It has to be TCG legal, or else I probably won't cover it, basically. But if you want to send in your own list for me to possibly play, critique, or whatever, send it to my Facebook fan page in a message form. The link to my Facebook fan page is in the description of this video, as well as every other video that I put up in like the last year. It's very accessible to you by now. If you don't know how to get to it, then shit, man. That's a problem. But other than that, this is basically just like a Gusto deck that utilizes Taketumborg to get into some better freeze plays, because being able to float into Pilica during your opponent's turn the Gusto into attack mode, usually Guldo, but then being able to also special summon Taketumborg and tribute that and going into Triad Dice, while it does only restrict you from summoning Winds for the rest of the turn, that's also Pilica's restriction. So this card works perfectly for this deck, because it just allows you to summon Triad Dice, which also functions as a Necro Gardener, which allows you to further mitigate, which ones of your floaters are going to be the ones that actually die. Stuff like that. Just little tiny things. There are some things that I definitely don't like about this deck list. Mainly like cards like Magic Cylinder, I'm just not a fan of, even though this deck is very gimmicky. Magic Cylinder is just one of those cards I wouldn't include in this list. I would definitely include something else like Call of the Haunted, to just one, extend your combo, and it also extends your freeze OTK. So there's that. And then like things like 1 cam, I feel like this is a 2 of at minimum, stuff like that. There's very minor things that I would change about this list, just straight off the bat, but after I play it for a little bit, I will have some more concrete ideas of how I want to change this around. But yeah, the main interaction is using Taketumborg, and you can special your Triad Dice from the deck, and you're able to go into some key synchro plays that allow you to just keep snowballing some attempted advantage, and it just allows you to make freeze OTKs happen a lot easier because of the fact that it provides an additional tuner for you outside of your normal summon, because this allows you to just go into Triad Dice from your deck. So stuff like that. Tiny little things that all come together to make this deck a little bit stronger than it has been in the past. But anyway, I'm going to be trying to film a couple games in this video. Essentially, I'm going to try and do multiple games and see how long the video gets. I'm not going to try and go crazy long with it, but I mean, if I'm able to film a few games per video, then I will definitely be doing that, because it allows me to show more of the deck before I go in and do my critiques and deck doctor for it. But other than that, that's it for this little segment and part of the video, and let's just jump into whatever game or games I'm able to get. Alright, so I'm going to try and give this deck as many chances as I can in this video, although I might end up having to, do a secondary video as well. But this hand looks pretty good. It would be much better if there was a Pilica in it, because this plus Pilica is amazing. But I've got Magic Cylinder, which is like the trolliest card. But I'm able to set this and set this. I don't want to do anything else in the form of, I don't want to set the Lance because it's not necessarily needed. It's basically just, I guess, used for protecting freeze, so that you can actually force your things through. Oh, I'm playing as heroes. Okay. So this should be pretty actually alright. I'm actually going to Cylinder this, just because I want to be able to flip my Kamui on my own turn, get Guldo, and then, use Guldo that way. So he's going into Koga then. Alright, so never mind. I'm just going to get dicked over. Because of the fact that I used this mass change a bit early. But it's whatever. It doesn't actually matter that much, because what I'm capable of doing is just using Kamui to actually establish some floater lines. So I'm going to go into Guldo first, just because, if I draw into Pilica, it's the most relevant one to actually have. So there's that. But otherwise, okay, I get the Twin Twister to get rid of these, or at least some of them. So yeah. It's another Guldo, okay. Well, what I get to do is I get to basically just wall behind these cards, and I can actually set this. I can set this, and I will set this, and I will pass my turn, because I'm going to be able to go Twin Twister, discarding Guldo, and popping 2 of his cards, and then this can float into Pilica, depending on if he attacks it or not. Okay, so Goblinberg. So what are you going to attack is my question here. He's attacking this, which, okay, sure, I'm fine with. And I'm actually going to let this go through. I'm not going to try and Twin Twist or anything, because at this point, if he has something like a Solemn Strike or Solemn Warning, I'd like him to use it now. But otherwise, I'm very, very okay with everything happening here. So, we'll let this Eagle get summoned, and so now he can only attack Eagles, because I only have 2 Eagles. So, that is something that can work. So what I'll do is I'll actually activate... No, I don't want to activate Twin Twister here. I don't want to activate it here because I want to be able to float into Pilica. I want to be able to normal summon this next turn. Well, actually, no, I'm going to be able to actually get it back regardless, because Freeze will allow me to add a Gusto card back. Now, I could just add back Pilica, and that'd be really strong, or I would just be able to, you know, keep this and, you know, not add it back, something like that. Ah, Solemn Strike on that. Okay. See, that's why we do the things that we do. Because now I can actually just draw Pilica, I can draw E-Tele. That's a Takentumborg. That's actually pretty good as well. Even though I already have a lot of tuners, I can special it and just make like something like Stardust Charge Warrior. Or make like Crystal Wing. So there's definitely options here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to activate this, discarding this to kill these 2. Bronson. Who the hell is Bronson? Oh, I must have spectators muted. So attack that. It's Solemn Strike. So we'll put this in an attack mode. I can special this for basically free at this point. It would allow me to do some other things. I haven't normal summoned yet this turn either, so I'm going to be capable of doing quite a bit. But as it stands, I just want to establish this freeze, so I will actually suicide this into the Goblinberg. I'll take a little bit of damage. And the only thing that I need to worry about is whether or not he has the 3rd Solemn Strike. If he has the 3rd Solemn Strike, then that's going to be what the problem is. That's going to be where the problem lies. So that increases its attack? Is that what it does? It loses attack. Okay, sure. So he's going to make it 0, and so now my thing doesn't go through. So that's cute. So I killed it though. So, I mean, you still have to deal with my floater. That's the thing. I don't know if that was really correct for you. So this is something that I can actually make during the next turn. So I can make that. I can make Haster. I can make a few different things, or I could just let my floater just stay here, because he's gonna punch over it. He's gonna do damage, but that's fine. I get to float into Pilica. Like, it's simple. This game is very simplified at this point, and I have floaters and he does not. So that's the key thing here. Is that unless he drew another monster, he has to kill this in order for him to, you know, go for game in any way, shape, or form. And if he attacks it, then I'm just capable of doing very, very mean things in the form of floating into Pilica. So I'm going to let this go. I'm going to take the 2800. Eagle's effect will activate. I'll get a Pilica out of the deck. And unless he has like another Solemn Strike, then I'm just going to be able to make freeze. And anything other than a counter trap is going to be just basically irrelevant here, because I'm going to be able to use Lance to protect whatever I want to do. But so next turn, I get to start my turn by making freeze. And after I do that, I'll be able to add Goldo back to my hand and normal summon it and go into Eagle and other stuff. So there's that. But as it stands, I actually get to do a different play as well, because I have this Takentumborg. So I will special summon this, and this will allow me to float into, or not even float, just kind of lone fire into my other tuner, because now what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to make freeze with these 2, and I'm going to be able to turn this Goldo into attack mode. And that will be the key thing there. So it's basically a guaranteed game from that point, because what I get to do is I get to add back. I could add back Pilica and normal summon it, but he's at 63. That would be enough for game if I just got Pilica, because I could turn this to attack mode. This will attack into that, which will be huge, and everything will be pretty swimmingly done. So what we'll do is we'll use this, and we will actually get back, I guess, Eagle. I guess Eagle is like the best floater at this point, because it allows me to go into Cam. So there is that. But as it stands, I can make something here, or I could just not. And I'm more leaning towards the not, because I can actually just start suiciding this into things. So we'll do that. We'll see what happens here. Lance on Koga, sure. So it lowers it, but I still get to do basically game anyway, because I get to summon Eagle. And then Eagle will float down into Cam, and then I've got, you know, plenty of things here. So yeah, okay, so we'll actually go with that, and that's actually a perfect time because my timer for my food is done. Amazing! Alright, well, I'm going to go into another game for this video, so just sit tight. Alright, so let's see if this can actually work as well as it did last time. Hopefully just a bit quicker, because, I mean, that'd be great. If it could work quicker, that'd be awesome. But as it stands, this dumbass trolley card, but actually, okay, Monarchs. Okay, so this is actually something incredibly real. And that means that Erebus is actually a threat. And this card, I think, is just strictly, like, worse than Whirlwind. So I'm not quite sure why this is here instead of Whirlwind. I mean, I think both of them are terrible because they're traps. But, I mean, Whirlwind with Gusto at least lets you summon a card from your deck. It only requires 2 engrave rather than 3. So there is that. I mean, if you're going to play this card, you might as well just play, Call of the Haunteds. At least that's my opinion, but, he's revealing those. I'm going to give him the other Pantheism. I mean, this is ridiculous. So he's got Tenacity plus Return. I don't want to let him search Return. There's a Stormforth gone, which I'm okay with. But otherwise, let's see. Tuning. Okay, so he's playing the Zulkin build of Monarchs. But he's getting that. I guess he already has the Quick Draw? Question mark? I don't know. Yeah, he has the Quick Draw already. Alright. Okay, so he's able to make, he's got 2 Monarch Stormforts in the grave, because he milled one off Tuning. So I'm potentially not going to have to deal with that. He's got this, which he gets to use as additional normal summon on. And summon Erebus. Okay, cool. So he gets to take a card out of my hand. And as long as he takes out one of these oh, the Talking Tumborg. Okay, well that was like the best one. That's sad. Really wouldn't expect. More magic cylinders. Yes, more traps. Please and thank you. Well, let's see. What I can do here is I can just set this. There's another Erebus in his graveyard. That's the unfortunate business. But I can set all of these, and I can pass my turn. Or he can use Aether here. And if he uses Aether here and pops my cards and lets me draw cards, I'm fine with that. Okay, he's summoning Prime. What's the exact situation that's about to happen here? End main. Okay, alright. So, does he have multiple Primes engraved? Or is it just the one? Is it just the one? It is just the one. Okay, so he has access to another Prime, but there's no... Well, he can discard it off Erebus, actually. So he will be able to actually make like something like Zenmayo, potentially. But he's actually just not doing that play. So, I'm okay with this. I'll give you Return. I'm not going to give you Tenacity. Tenacity would let you search another Prime. Unless you already have the Prime, in which case, rip me! Man, I fucking hate Monarchs. This deck is ridiculous. This deck's, like, so shitty, yet so really good. Because it's shitty. So there's that. Okay, so now he can't summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. So that's neat. So now he can only just basically summon another Erebus. So if he gets rid of my Guldo, if he spins my Guldo away with like an Erebus, then that would be kind of terrible for me. But in this instance, he's used his 1 tribute summon for turn on Aether. So this is fine. This is 100% fine. You can get that Pantheism back. I don't care, because I'm basically trying to set myself up to kill you. The issue I have though is that, like, okay, he has to basically kill this. He's targeting those and killing them to get draws. Alright, cool. If he kills this and I float into another Gusto, then I'll be able to do a Blessing with Gusto play. But if he doesn't kill this, then I won't be able to. That's the thing. That's the problem. Twin Twister. Come get me. Blessing with Gusto. Fuck. I wanted that. Damn it. And now he sees that I'm playing Gustos, and so if he's smart, he just doesn't attack my monster. Oh, shit. Well then. Never mind. Wait, I gave this motherfucker a return, and did he just discard it? Is that literally what happened? Alright. Yeah, sure. You can have this. You can attack it. I don't care. Yes, we will float into an eagle. And I'm debating if I want to actually let this die, because if I let this die here, right, I can magic cylinder it, or I could let this die. And if I let this die, I get to float into Pilica. And then Pilica gets to add back this, I can normal summon this, and then, you know, everything is fine and dandy with the world. But if I keep this, it's just better to let this die. 100%. It's 100% better to let this die. Because I could draw into E-Telly or something like that, and that would extend my play further on my turn, but not knowing that knowledge, it's just better for me to go ahead and do this now, because he could have Stormforth Aether. I mean, and like, I could makes freeze, add a card back to my hand, and then, you know, attempt to go into like main phase or something. But what are the chances of that being Stormforth? That is the question. That is the very, very valid question, because I know that there are a couple of them gone. There's one here, and there's at least one here. So if this is Stormforth, did he search it in any way, at any time? I do not see it, and I don't know if he has another either in his hand. So we could definitely try. We can definitely try. We trying and we dying. I could actually just go ahead and make Totem Bird here. That's actually a play that I could make as well. But then I'd be able to make Totem Birds freeze, and I wouldn't be able to really do much about it. So I basically just have to go into this freeze here. And this freeze, since I've already got a Pilica in hand, it's going to add back Guldo. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that, go into Guldo, and do my thingos. The problem is here, if he has another either play, he can actually just Karaz my cards away. And that would be actually kind of shitty. That would be kind of shitty and ignorant. Okay, so nothing is happening. Nothing wrong is going on. Alright, so I just get to suicide these cards now. Great. Awesome. I think I just stole this one. 100% think I just stole this one. So we'll go into Eagle, and then we'll attack with Eagle. And then, so Eagle can float down. He's going to take 26, so he's at 31. So I can attack for 8 with this freeze, and then the Eagle, I can summon something else like Kamui. Kamui would be another good, healthy chunk. So we'll go for it. Yeah, I just stole this one. He just didn't have the cards to play. He just didn't have the Stormforth. Stolen. Yo, let's go, Gustos. All right, I remember why I love this deck. I remember why I liked this deck so much way back in the day. Yeah, stolen. I didn't even have to interact with his cards. Stolen. I shouldn't have won that game in any way, shape, or form if I was playing any other deck, because I'm really far down in terms of resources compared to what he has access to. But he just didn't have Stormforth. And he didn't have any way to clear my things. He didn't even have Aether. Like, Aether Karaz there would have been game. That was really cool. I like that. That actually pleased me greatly. My soul is smiling right now. Like my actual physical soul. But I guess that's going to be it for this video. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to all the nonsense you usually do. Links are in the description of my Facebook pages. If you want to connect with me, chat with me, whatever, that is what they are there for. If you want to send your own deck list in for me to possibly play and critique, then link to my Facebook fan page is where you want to send that. Don't post it on the Facebook fan page wall. Send it to me in a message. It's just easier for me to see that way, because like the Facebook fan page layout is really weird for me looking at it, because it prioritizes my posts and hides yours. So that's like, it's really hard for me to see in that case. But other than that, if you want to support me, clicking ads on my videos and disabling ad block is the best way to do so. Helps me make money. There's no reason to lie to you guys about that. And if you have an ad block enabled, if you can take a few seconds out of your day to disable it, refresh the video, click an ad or two, and then put it back on when you're done. It takes seconds out of your day, takes no money out of your pocket, and helps me out a ton. Really shows the support and the liking of what I'm doing that you guys have. And ultimately, you'd have my eternal gratitude, because it really helps me out a ton, as I've already expressed multiple times in the past. But other than that, that's it for this video. I'll probably play a few more games with this, and then I'll probably do a Deck Doctor critiquing video on it, and then play it again. But I don't know what time frame those are going to be coming out in terms of videos that I make and put up on the channel. They might all come out today. They might be spread out over a day or two with like a day spread in between them. Something like that. But who knows? Only I will figure it out. But other than that, that's it for this video. And as always, guys, take care.